G'day everybody and welcome back to the Hardball Gets AFL show. This podcast is proudly brought to you by the Mazda BT50. You do ute. Today on the show, it's the 2-minute warning at around 13. If you haven't subscribed to the potty, do that wherever you're listening. Leave us a rating, leave us a review, tell your mates. All right, let's get stuck in. This is the Hardball Gets AFL show. My name's Nick Rynne, joined by Xavier Ellis and Ryan Daniels. What's happening, gentlemen?
Glad to be back. I've had a nice week of relaxation.
Coral Bay.
Coral Bay. Geez, nice part of the world.
Now, before we dive into it, we do need a little bit of a sounding board. This was recorded prior to the
Collingwood-Melbourne
game.
Yes, correct. So who knows how that's going to go?
Season 5, episode
Max Gordon
38.
kicks 10 and then breaks his leg and then someone runs on the field with a knife.
Everything we say is void.
We didn't
correct. We didn't see any of that, so we're not just ignoring it. We didn't see any of it.
I did have some feedback on you, Rhino.
Here we go.
It's usually directed towards our old innocent.
I know.
Bringing the gear.
I have a spy who's apparently listening to, not that I don't, of course I listen to everything you guys do.
Yeah.
The show that you do?
Which show?
The Saturday
The
morning?
Huddle. Weekend Huddle.
The Weekend Huddle?
Yeah. Triple M, Saturday mornings, 8 till 10.
Go on commercial radio and talk about you and your wife having relations under a foosball table?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. First time we were intimate together.
Oh, the actual first time.
Yeah.
I thought you meant at bloody Monkey Mile.
Yeah, Coral Bay.
We make
Getting
it
the
every
spark
year.
back after the kids.
Every year. It's an anniversary thing. We find a foosball. No.
Yeah. Well, have I told you I'm in the business of building football tables?
Well, you might have just the table for me. No, that did happen.
What was the reaction like?
Mate, you know what radio's like. Suddenly you're talking about one thing and you end up saying embarrassing shit that you really...
Before you know it, I'm tied to a ceiling fan in an orgy. It's unbelievable.
You thought you were just going to
Didn't think I'd tell that story.
I came back and I was a bit flat this morning, so I've come in to my change room. So I've built these new change rooms downstairs, right? So
right.
Sue's got one and Rick's got one and Sam's got one and I've got one. These are
individual change rooms.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Hey, explain to me. So you see in the movies like green rooms or whatever.
Yeah, there's a green room.
So but where's your individual? And how big is it? Like,
I would say wouldn't be too much smaller than this room.
And it's your own.
Yeah.
So it's four.
Well,
Your
at the
personal
moment,
space.
I share with Tim McMillan. So
he's not in every...
No, he's not in as often. He doesn't go on camera as often as I do.
No.
And they're actually building new ones so that soon we'll all have our own one.
Oh, so where's the Mad Monday suite?
You got to wait. But my concern was I've come in today and I've got my shower in there, of course. And
you got your own shower?
Yeah, and I've got...
when Channel 7 moved in, there used to be showers next to the gym here, which anyone
Is there a
could go
gym?
in.
Is there a gym here?
There's a gym here.
Yeah, I use the gym every day.
How do I not know when you use this? I come here every day.
What, you're going to use it?
Then Channel 7 moved into the building and there was a lock on one of the doors. It was a special Rick shower.
Yeah,
Rick got his own shower.
Yeah, he did.
Now he's got his own in his own room.
Yes, he did have, because he used to have his own shower at the previous place we worked at in Dinella. When we came in here, because he surfs every day, he comes in, covered in salt and ocean. He actually does need it. So he had his own shower. Now we've all got our own individual showers in his room. So I've come in this morning after my run.
Long way to get to where we're at right now.
Yeah. Took a few details. There's a lot of questions.
I'm still shocked you've got your own change room.
I wouldn't have had one if Baz hadn't left. Put it that way. It's a big deal. So I walk in and I go to have my shower, and I've got my own shower gel in there that I purchased it.
What are you using? Palmolive?
Minty. What's that minty one?
No, it's a lavender.
Oh,
yeah, purple lid.
Yeah,
it's a Palmolive
nice.
number.
Yeah, I like it. I do like it. That's all I've got in there.
Yeah.
But then I see on the corner of the floor a bar of soap.
Tell me there's a big pube on it or something.
I didn't want to touch it. But my concern is I don't use soap.
Is there a lock on the door?
So if somebody has showered in my shower.
Yeah, nice.
And then my next question is, and I'll ask Tim, but if it's not Tim, I'm really worried. What towel did they use? Because the only towel hanging up is my personal towel.
No, I'm going to give you a little...
is it monogram?
So I'm going to go with Sam Jolly has had a shower because hers was out of action for one afternoon.
Right.
There was a...
So she's...
There was a tap broken tap or something.
She's thought, Ryan's not here.
Just jump in.
He's away. I'll go use his shower.
Correct.
Brought her own
Oh,
towel.
who was doing the news when you were away?
Barra.
Well, that's who it is.
Could have been.
Baz do one?
That's the most obvious.
Baz did one.
Baz?
You reckon Baz had a shower?
That's as obvious as any. Baz, it's Baz.
Okay, so you're going with Baz?
Yeah.
You're going with...
I think it's Baz. I reckon it's going to be Baz.
But you give up the right to your change room when you're on holidays for a week.
I don't know about that.
You do.
A lot of personal stuff.
Is there a lock on the door?
Well, you need a scan card to get in. Only certain people can get in, which means it does limit the number.
Can I get in?
Yeah, I'm just going to check in.
I'm going to make sure
I'm going
you
to check
can't.
in with human resources.
I'm going to make sure you can't. If I walk in there and you're having a shower, there'll be...
I don't think you'll be having a shower. He'll just be sitting there naked.
Yeah.
Well, there's a toilet in there too.
So we...
Personal toilet.
Wow, with a door.
That's
what
game
is this?
changer.
I'm assuming there's a door on these. Is there a door on the toilet, or is it just in the room?
Yeah, no. So it's just in the room, but you're the only person in there, and then you can lock the door from the inside too.
Wait. So is this a toilet in the middle of the room?
Yeah,
sounds like a prison cell.
Yeah, what's going on there?
You walk in, your wardrobe's on the side.
Does the scan card let you out?
A lot of cupboards for your clothes. Then there's a sink at the end, and then to the left, you go in this sort of separate little room.
Oh, okay.
There's the shower and the bathroom.
Room.
Yeah, but there's no door on that room. It's just sort of a wall.
Yeah, well,
you know,
TV in there?
like an ensuite.
You got TV in there?
No, but I do want one.
I'd almost turn it into my office.
Well, I go down there a bit.
Yeah.
I go down there a bit. When the NBA's on, I just sit on the phone.
And we've reintroduced soap blocks at home too.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't mind a soap block.
Yeah,
but this one threw me off.
Kids just go to Pump Town on the other stuff.
But this is the other question I have. This person who used the soap block, they were prepared. So they've come in with the soap block, but then they don't give a rat's ass about the soap block. They've just thrown it on the ground, which would make sense to be Baz because he's just
don't give a shit
not a
about
care
it.
in the world. So I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
Do you get a bit of an awakening on Saturday night footy? So Saturday night footy.
I knew you were going to do this.
JB's over. Who usually calls Saturday?
Das and Haim.
So a bit of a reshuffle with JB.
Haim goes to
Haim goes to Friday. Yeah, JB's over there, and Das had the Western Bulldogs Hall of Fame.
Congratulations,
and then I think
Darcy.
Jason Bennett, who does call sometimes for 7, was hosting that event.
Right.
So it was a perfect storm. There's no one to call.
No. So Ryan's been calling on Triple M and doing a great job.
Thank you.
And he's sitting there now.
This gave me a compliment. That must have hurt.
Well, this is what my spies tell me.
Oh, here we go.
That you might have rang Gaz.
No.
You might have rang Gaz.
I didn't.
And said, hey, Gaz, I've caught wind that Das is out of action. Jason
Gary
Bennett's out of action.
books all the spots.
Yeah, who runs it all. Gaz, mate, I don't know if you're across that I've been doing some Triple M stuff lately. I'm ready. I'm available. I'm back from my holiday up north. What time do you want me there? And he may have said, hey, little boy. Hey, little boy, don't bring your knife to a gunfight. Unfortunately, we're going to unload Basil Zemplis again because the pecking order still sits here. Even though you walk around your silly little change room thinking you're a man. Snoz.
The big dog.
Daniels. And then whatever.
Everything else.
Yeah.
Sure.
Barra, whatever.
Yeah. Right. Okay. No, that did not happen. I did not call Gary. I'll be honest. I would have liked the chance.
Go on.
Would have loved the chance.
Yeah.
But also, I don't reckon I'm ready.
Either do I.
I've done like 6 games on radio. I need some more time. I respect the game too much.
No, that's bullshit.
You know?
How flat were you when you got the call on boundary? How flat were you?
Well, I knew I was doing the boundary for months. I
know that. But how flat were you either when you heard you weren't doing the main call or you heard that Baz was doing the main call? It's an honest podcast here. We just spoke about you underneath.
You want a percentage of flatness?
Flatness on both accounts.
Which give me first
boundary?
I already knew I was doing the boundary.
Yeah, how flat were you doing that?
Well,
how flat were you doing that?
Well, wait, was there a moment?
About 7.
Was there a moment? Was there a call to say, "Nah, mate, Baz is in," or is it just did they just leave it on the vine?
Baz told me. I saw him at
courtesy call?
I saw Baz at a function.
Was there a courtesy
and he said, I'll see you at the footy. I'm calling. I said, what are you doing calling?
Yeah, there we go. That's the moment. What was the moment? The flatness in that moment.
Well, that was probably
the cat.
That was probably the moment. That was probably the moment.
So
Baz might have gone, you know what, I don't want to do this one.
So would have
Let's give Rhino a go.
So would have I. Mate, Snoz is back. I love it.
He's not going to give it up.
Oh, I love it.
I do love Baz. And he was up and about. And
as he says, you're never dead.
You never and you never say no to anything. Ever.
What a week for Basil. He took down the Premier. He surely had a hand in that.
Massive
and
week.
now he's back calling. He does what he likes, doesn't he?
Well, who knows what's next?
All right. Well,
I do. I don't.
All right, we'll get into it. Keeping in mind, yet 2 out of the top 3 teams, we don't know what's happening today. So start with Collingwood. Which is me, so it's going to be void soon, but how much does no to goey hurt them, or is it just next up for the next one?
No, hurts them.
Yeah,
it hurts them.
Yeah, I was just talking to Ben Cousins, not name dropping, but we were just chatting before, and we were talking about today's game.
You're saying, hey, Ben, get the hell out of my car park. How about those bloody quiet?
Well, there's the soap block.
Maybe Ben's had a shower.
And you haven't been told.
Ben's had a shower.
That's how Ben's changed.
But again, if Ben wants to have a shower, that's fine.
It's going to be his
They change the name on the top of it.
It's like the NFL where they go in and on the practice squad and scan their buzzer to get in on Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
And it doesn't let them in.
Well, that happened to Brad.
And then he'll go to pick up the kids and they'll say, oh no, their dad came and got them.
A big cut.
That happened to Brad Johnson. I remember hearing him tell the story. He played his last game for the Bulldogs, went in on the Monday morning to get some of his stuff, and his card was
already done.
I think it was just a confusion, but he was like, geez, it comes for you quick.
Cheap day, very quick.
What were we talking about? So he was saying, we're talking about Melbourne, who's going to win today, and I said, well, no, Oliver, that's tough. And then but hold on.
No, to
Goey might be a bigger loss.
Nah.
You don't think so?
Nah.
I think Goey's their most important player.
No, he is, but Collingwood's style is built just on effort and
so next
enjoyment.
Man up. But not many can do what he does.
No, but not many. Melbourne need Clary.
Clearly,
like they probably beat Freo with Clary.
They would have.
Yeah, I think De Goey, because occasionally too you have the roller coaster with De Goey.
Yeah,
like there's games they're still winning, and Jordan De Goey's not doing a great deal.
True.
Even though I think at his prime he's a top 10 player,
and he likes the stage.
Yeah, loves it.
Today's the stage.
Massive out, but I still think that Nick Dacos might go in the midfield, Pendles,
you don't think... I mean, it's pointless talking about a game that hasn't happened yet.
There's less depth
look
at
stupid
Melbourne.
In hindsight.
There's less depth at Melbourne.
You don't think it's an equal elimination out? Like Oliver and De Goey's the same?
No, I'd say Oliver.
I think Oliver's more important than Melbourne than De Goey.
Depth around that midfield. Oliver, Petrarca... This sounds so stupid because we're about to find out what happens.
Yeah.
Oliver, Petrarca, Viney, scattering of players.
Yep.
Whereas De Goey's in for half the centre bounces anyway.
Yeah.
Goes forward. Both superstars, but I think the other one will hurt more.
Okay. The Pinsky's back in.
Yeah,
he was like the biggest.
Good-looking man.
He's in the all-handsome team. We will get to that one.
Port Adelaide sitting second.
So I have the power.
Equal top.
And we mentioned a skip earlier, and you were going to use. I'm skipping, so I get it in first.
What?
No, I'm joking.
So we were talking before. We've all got teams we want to skip.
Yeah.
And Dave was trying to bags it. He said, I've got Gold Coast. I'm skipping Gold Coast. And we said, you can't bags it.
Yeah.
Whoever uses it first uses it first, mate.
And I'm using it now. Hey, we all need to tip our hat just quickly.
Port Adelaide.
No. There's an element to Port Adelaide we're tipping. Scott Lycett gave Tim English an absolute flogging on the weekend. 43 hit-outs to 20. I know English, that's not his bread and butter, but the disposals weren't too different, so you had to go back to the hit-outs because that was the biggest gaping hole.
I will put my hand up, and I don't know if we could find the audio for next week. I'm pretty sure I said Scott Lycett might be done.
Yeah, no, I think we all did.
I think Bryn Teakle had come in. He looked pretty good. They were winning.
I think we all did.
And then
it was
Teakle...
a like for like. No one was too much better than the other.
Correct. And then now Lycett just looks like he hasn't missed a beat, and he's looks like the best version of himself, and he's fine.
So 10 in a row to Kenny, which is unbelievable. Charlie Dixon returns.
That's their longest ever winning streak.
Yeah, crazy. So Charlie Dixon, 8 goals between Finlayson, Marshall and Dixon. When you come back from an injury... Can it start any easier than the first kick from a centre bounce landing in your lap? Then Josh Bruce, I don't know whether he thought he was cuddling his kid or football because he dragged that under him and literally Charlie Dixon's put his hand up. Before you know, you've got kicked 2 in the first few minutes.
Yep.
What a start by Dixon.
That was the most enjoyable. Was it Friday? Friday or Thursday night fixture? I watched it a long time.
No, Thursday night was torture.
We've had a lot of torturous standalone games, but that one I was genuinely pumped the whole game.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. So well done to Charlie Dixon. Kenny, when do they sort that out?
Oh, it's got to be done now. Like I've been on the fence with Ken for a while, but you cannot win 10 games in a row, and you can't. You see the connection he has with those players. It was a nice moment with Sam Powell-Pepper on the bench the other day. I was like, man, these guys love playing for him. They all talk about, and they have stuff coming through in Butters and Rosie and these guys. Francis.
Are they coming through anymore? I think they're there.
Well, that's what I mean. Like this team's going to be good for a while, and they love him. Jeez, how was that Horn Francis? Scoop.
But the best was the Zach Butters on halfback to get it down to him.
Don't
took on like 2 or 3.
Don't get me started on my man, Zach.
Tune in to Mad Monday. You might see
you might see a bit of footage there. What's that, 7, mate? What time? 7 o'clock?
7.
What's who's next?
We're on to Melbourne.
Nah. Bang.
Okay.
We can't talk about it. We've just covered that game.
Something for Collingwood.
No. I don't have anything written down.
No, okay.
At all.
We might bullet a couple today. With the footy coming up.
All right, but hold on. If we use extra bullets today...
We don't use them next week.
Well, we start going into deficit. We go into deficit of bullets.
Shut up, Nick.
We can't do too many. There's rules. We got rules, mate. It's just going to be chaos.
I want to go home and sit by the fire, have a couple of cans, and watch the footy.
Brisbane.
That's you, mate.
No, that is me.
There we go.
So
it simply rotates, mate.
I know.
It just rotates.
But then we skipped one and I got all confused. We talked about skipping more. So conceded 8 of the last 9 goals. I am normally the last. I hate the idea of can't win at this ground kind of thing. I think that's like a fallacy.
Yeah, agree with
but
it.
But now I'm starting to lost 13 of the past 14 of the MCG.
It's amazing.
And to not show it, like just not compete at their usual effort, not show up. Yeah. Not Hawthorn good.
We'll get to Hawthorn.
But you should be beating Hawthorn, right?
I had a few bucks on Brisbane to cover the line, which was 20 points or something. Yeah. Not at one stage, and 20 points is what? 3 quick goals.
Yeah.
And not at one stage did I feel like they were going to blow Hawthorn away.
No.
Not in any patch of play. No. It was... You'd think it probably would suit them, a big, wide open space.
You often ask what's the one thing about Brisbane, and we talk about Joe Danaher and whether he fires or not and blah... I think the one thing is they're a far better side at the Gabba than they are anywhere else, and particularly the MCG where you have to win.
I don't understand
You could be good enough to get a home prelim and not have to worry about it till then, but at some point you're going to have to be there, and anything can happen on any day. That might be the game that they finally figure it out. I don't know. But that's the one thing. That's their one issue.
Yeah. No, it's horrible. Lockie Neal's an interesting one, isn't he? He has a good game, and I buy all in. I've got all the stock on Lockie Neal. And then unusual because he is such a consistent performer over the journey. I don't know what his numbers were on the weekend.
He had 30.
But it wasn't. It was a late charge.
It does feel like he's been down a little bit.
It was a late. I'm going to find his numbers and justify that comment.
While you're doing that, McCluggage...
He had 13 in the last quarter.
Yeah, right. Yeah. McCluggage was having his best game of the year, I think.
He's had one or two good ones.
But he was flying, and then he got...
Hipwood kicks 4, answers that like which forward bobs up.
Are we talking about the Sicily McCluggage tackle?
Who's got Hawthorn?
That comes later, but we can add it in. I think I've got Hawks later. We'll get into that then. St Kilda.
St Kilda, you absolutely have to tip your hat. They are flying. It was a shocking game of football. There's one player that needs a spell more than any player in the competition. It's their captain, Jack Steele.
Oh, yeah.
He's not helping him out there.
He must be banged up still.
That knee's as sore as a boil by the looks of it, because he's a tough hombre.
Yeah.
And you start to think, gee whiz, this is... You know when you look at a player and go, you're a shadow of yourself and you need to be stopped from yourself a little bit because he's tough, he thinks he can do the job he's doing. He's sore as anything.
So is it all the soreness and the injury, or is it that under Ross it's a different game plan and he's just not as much of a centrepiece?
I've been watching him closely.
Okay.
Been watching him really closely at certain games, hoping for the best. But even his numbers, there was a game where we got to 25, and I was like, that's probably the worst 25 he's ever had.
Yeah.
So enough on Jack.
It's funny how those can just bring you back to the pack, isn't it?
Absolutely. But I want to touch on a 20-year-old kid. Who am I talking about?
Caminiti?
Nope. 20
Owens? Mitch Owens?
Not Mitch Owens. Kicked 2 and had 20-odd. Good game.
Is Bytel play? Are you talking about Bytel?
No, pick 11 in a draft.
11?
Nick Caulfield? No.
Caulfield's injured.
Who's pick 11 in the draft?
No.
Pick 11.
Plays in defence. Wanganeen.
Oh, Wanganeen Miller. Oh, we love him.
Mate, 30 disposals, kicked a goal, 9 marks.
Yeah, we don't give him enough love.
No, that's why I'm circling into it now. So let's just say we love him.
Massive. We love him. Yeah, massive breakout
Glen Elk boy.
I like that. Can we do that every time we love him?
So, hasn't he just gone, like Ross Lyon, you've seen in the past where he gets a player or two and gets the best. And he's only 20, so he's obviously going to improve.
He was coming up.
But gee whiz, mate, he now is one of those players where they actively look to get him the football.
Oh, and teams to be planning for him.
And that was where he came into it. Came like best kick in the draft that year.
Well, there's no doubt about that. I don't know who's in the draft, but he kicks it. The issue when you get drafted is, they say someone's a good kicker of the football, but they've never kicked against a zone. The weight of a football...
And under AFL pressure.
Well, just get it there. No one can do that because you kill your teammates. So there's a massive difference between kicking a football at under 18 level where people go, you're a good kick. Because I don't know a good kick that comes out of under 18 level. They've got potential to be a good kick.
Yeah, right.
He is now a very good kick.
That's interesting. I've never heard that.
Oh, mate, you get shit mixed with some of those kids
every
kicking those
Every now and then he comes out with something and you're like, wow, that's really thoughtful.
Yeah.
Like just every now and then.
It happens. It spills out.
Okay.
When you have as many thoughts, some of them got to be
It's probably the makeup that he doesn't take it off. You notice that? He leaves it on.
Mate, M's away.
He'll be strutting down at Claremont shops just having a look around.
Saturday, I'm going to be at the Claremont Hotel Saturday.
Really? He still won't have taken the makeup off.
Bit of chest. Mate, my eyelid fucking peels. Yeah, no, I think I'm allergic to it.
Essendon. Oh, geez, I managed to chew up a bit of time there. That's good.
Yeah, I thought I was helping you out.
So, big win against Carlton last night. That's massive for them. What did we think? No, actually, you know what?
Carlton are on the line.
You know what? I'm going to save that for Carlton.
They're fourth last.
We'll go to Essendon.
We need to love Essendon.
These are the teams that they've beaten: Hawthorn, Gold Coast, GWS, Richmond, West Coast, North, and Carlton. None of those teams are going particularly well, obviously. In fact, quick look, none of them are in the 8. The only one that they have beaten that's as any good is Melbourne. Now, you might say, they haven't beaten anyone. I'm going to flip that and say they're beating the teams that they should beat.
Yeah.
And this is the first step in a team getting respectability.
But even you say should beat.
Yeah.
I don't think they should be beating them.
Some of them,
they are.
Yeah, some of them shouldn't.
They are.
But the games where you look at it and you go, maybe, and they're winning the maybes, and then they're winning the ones that they should. The past few years of Essendon, you didn't know what you were going to get. No. You turn up and you go, "Jeez, this could be." They're playing West Coast, but everyone else has belted them. And then look what happened last year. They lost to West Coast. They were one of 2 teams to do that. So one thing that Brad Scott has been able to do is provide more surety and stability in what their fans can expect.
Their back line is built around consistency now.
It is.
Ridley's back to his 2020 best and fairest. Laverty.
Yep.
The Red Dog, just a madman.
Yep.
Zerk Thatcher, who's had a couple of bags kicked on him. Not bags, well, Hawk nailed a bag on him, but he's improving.
Ben Hobbs looks great.
Mick Ra as well.
I suppose the big question would be for next week, how do they jump another level?
Players.
Adelaide, that's me. It's Texas 10. There's an interesting thing with Kane Corns on the Sunday Footy Show. He did a Coleman medal tally minus games played against West Coast.
Well, that's a good one with Charlie Curnow.
Because 8. Charlie Curnow kicked 8.
9.
Tex
he kicked 9.
9. Tex kicked 10. Nick Larkey kicked 6 early up. People are cashing in.
Correct.
I looked at it and I turned it on briefly after half time and I thought,
who's on top?
Who was on top?
Yeah.
In Adelaide West Coast?
No. Of the without playing West Coast.
Oh, it's
Coleman.
still, I think it's Jeremy Cameron.
Okay,
yeah. But he kicked. Has they played West Coast?
No, he didn't play against West.
No,
he didn't kick a goal against West Coast.
He didn't kick a goal. No, they had a very weird day. Geelong.
They did.
They just didn't. Put the foot
I'm thinking about Freo.
No, Geelong didn't put the foot
but
down.
He didn't kick a goal against Freo either.
Yeah.
They lost
against Freo.
He might have kicked a few against West Coast. Can't remember, but they didn't smack them like everyone else.
3 against Freo. I remember that.
Yeah, I had to
I'm going well here.
It was a sad time. The one thing West Coast fans had to hold on to this year is Oscar Allen might win the Coleman. And then I turned on a halftime and he's had to play at fullback on Tex Walker.
He was never winning the Coleman.
But he's getting close. He's still in the fight.
He's been a big tick. But
he's still third. Well, I think on that when they took out games played against West Coast, I think he was second.
Okay, because he's not.
Because he can't play.
Tex is out of contract. Does he get? He obviously gets a year. That's it, though?
He would have kicked the most goals, I reckon, in the last 3 years.
Yeah, I think he gets.
Yeah, so they just give him 1, though.
1 and a trigger.
Depends what your policy is.
1 and an easy trigger.
I like the triggers.
Yeah.
I want more triggers for older players.
I'll tell you what I want with contracts. We get all these triggers. Hey, if you kick 50 goals, you get this amount. You play 12 games, you get this amount.
Yeah.
How about we flip it on its head? And this is not an Adelaide conversation because Tex is a beautiful kick and so is Darcy Fogarty.
I like this.
Let's send it to Carlton and say, righto, dickbags. If you're kicking at 35%, you're losing money at the end of the year.
Yeah, we talked about it's like a tax return.
Yeah.
So at the end of the year, they run the numbers and they go, you owe us $100,000.
You're minus 50 grand on that bonus. Sorry, you're not getting it.
I don't mind that.
Western Bulldogs.
I've got the doggies, of course. Gee whiz, they're a hard read, aren't they, to get the dogs. McCraney went into 1 centre bounce on the weekend. 7 of the top 8 players disposal-wise were the Bulldogs players. But I want to take a quick look at Aaron Norton. How do you reckon the Astronaut's going this year?
Quietly.
So I've got a little bit of a tally written down here. I've done some research, believe it or not,
well done.
About how he's gone against top 8 sides this year.
Is this you bring research now because you have to do another show before us?
No, this is purely us.
Okay,
we've got one of those
exclusive insights.
Those notepads at home.
Do you? Yeah, you probably stole it off my desk, I would have thought. Right, so Aaron Norton, 24 goals he's kicked. He's kicked 1 against Melbourne, 2 against St Kilda, 1 against Brisbane, 1 against Port Adelaide, 1 against Adelaide, 1 against Geelong, who are 9th, but the bye system at the end scrambling around at the moment, and 2 against Port on the weekend.
So
He's not. The multiple 3s and 4s have been against the bottom sides.
That's interesting.
That's a good bit of research, probably.
That's very good research.
Is that? And I don't want to blame Rory Lobb, but I just don't think I'm not looking at Aaron Norton.
We do that a lot here.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at Aaron Norton as not being the same person he was.
Yeah, Rory does cop it a bit.
Is he? I don't know, but they're poor results against top 8.
Well, I think when and again, this is not about Rory, but when he came in, I think that was one of the things we thought, okay, well, maybe this will help Norton somehow.
I didn't think that.
Well, I thought maybe that's why they were doing it, right? Let's get another experienced guy.
I don't think list managers watch football. More and more, I don't think they watch football.
Yeah.
Let's get another talk.
Tom De Koning, 8 years. They don't watch it. They sit by the fire drinking gas with me at the back of my joint.
I missed last week. Blakey, did you lose your shit?
Oh, a bit of a cuddle for the
lizard. You gave the lizard.
He's not even the lizard could get it over the line.
Okay.
Geelong.
That's me. Other than West Coast, for obvious reasons, is there a team that needed the bye as a reset more than Geelong? I know they'd beat the Dogs just coming into it.
They were going into a bit of form.
Well, they'd lost 3 before that, and then they beat the Doggies in a relatively close game.
That was a good win by them.
It was a good win, but Hawkins seems like he needs a rest. Dangerfield will be back. I just feel like with where their list is at, if they're going to have any chance this year, which I don't think they do, but if they're to have any chance, they needed that reset bye. Now, is it Geelong who have that weird stat where they never win after the bye?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so maybe...
So just quickly on their injuries, I don't know if you've got this. So
it's long.
Dangerfield's a test for this week. This was updated on the 6th of June, which was last week. Test for Danger, test for Duncan, test for Max Holmes, and all the rest of Radaglia is short term. Other than that, it's medium term for most of them. So
right,
yeah, so no
a little bit. They need midfield back. They need Danger. They need Duncan, and they need.
Geez, it's a tough game.
Max.
Port Adelaide Thursday night.
Ooh. Whereabouts?
Adelaide.
In Adelaide, yeah.
Yikes.
Gee, scene of the crime. Adelaide,
is it done? So do we think that it's? Do we think that it's done for Geelong? Then they can't.
No, I can't say. I'm not getting involved in it.
I don't think. Oh, you too, mate. You're an expert.
No, I ride them off every year. Every year, what do you, mate? I've been more. No one's been more opinionated about the downfall of Geelong than me.
This is your time to do it, I reckon.
No, I'm staying away. They'll win the flag, probably.
He's going to double down. Well, they're 9th on the ladder at the moment. They're going to go play Port Adelaide in Adelaide. It doesn't really get much tougher than that these days.
Interesting to see that sort of 6th to 11th, what shakes out there between those sides.
Well, so it's funny to see that after the bye, of course, so Gold Coast have a game up their sleeve, really, and so do the Cats on some of those sides.
So do the Dockers.
Yeah. So anyway, it's too hard to read, but
St Kilda does as well.
I think Essendon got a lot of easy kills, so you'd almost...
Essendon go back to a couple of murders, don't they?
Well, at the moment, you're buying me and Xavier carton, Nick.
Is this? No, this isn't a thing.
Yes, it is.
Have we pulled that audio yet?
We are going to pull that audio. Okay.
Yeah.
Can we pull that? It was from pre-round. Was it pre-round 1? Or was it? No, it was after round 2 because they were all 2-0.
I think Kate's got enough work to do to be honest, and be pulling this audio. If you want to go back,
this is a carton of beer, mate.
Haven't you got an assistant down there in your little room?
For round 3 going in, I swear you said it.
Fascinated to see whether this holds or whether this is a new coach. I was going to say new cat. It's dead cat bounce.
I don't think any of them will make the 8.
No,
okay. And 71% of teams that go 2-0
if you had to
make
pick
the 8.
If you had to pick one of the 3. I was going to
say, let's pick one each.
I'd say North.
St Kilda for me. I back Ross in. He's getting cattle back too.
I'm going Essendon.
Oh!
Yeah, and
you hate Essendon.
He's trying to reverse jinx him.
Yeah. No, they've still got no forwards in that forward line.
Yeah.
I think they've got a bit to add. Obviously, St Kilda do.
Yeah.
North are probably at capacity.
So we've all gone different there.
Yeah, but I just like the talent. But
should we have a bet there?
What's the
2 cartons to the winner?
Oh, I'm going 0.
No, you're on Essendon.
Yeah, but I want none of them.
None of us might.
No.
Well, none of us might.
But
You've got to have one.
That's
what we're doing. 71% make it. So,
hold on, Michaela, can we hit the special button? I'm going to use mine here. This is our new button. Overtime. Every week we each get one of these, and overtime we can extend by a minute on any club we like, just because this chat's going. So I'm going to back in St Kilda. You're going to back in North Melbourne, and you're stuck with Essendon because you did say it.
Well, Sam Draper's going to take them to the promised land.
Sure. So if only one club makes it, we get a carton from the other 2, right?
Okay.
So let's say Essendon make it. You get one from me, one from Nick.
This is going to take a spreadsheet. Like, what happens if 2 of them make it?
Well, then you buy...
get half a carton each?
You get half a carton.
We get 1 each.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then who buys
the loser has to buy 2 cartons.
Yeah, the one's out.
The person who's out buys 2 cartons.
Yeah.
Fremantle. Was one of the problems, did they stuff up the selection? So they had a tall go out and an inside mid and brought in a wing and a medium forward.
So I think that the idea was that Tracy would kind of be able
to... He'd be the backup. Yeah, but they never really replaced him with a tall. They brought in Sam Sturt, who's a medium-ish...
But it should have only been for 5 or 6 minutes a quarter.
Yeah. You know what I didn't like? I didn't like that Henry comes in and plays that defensive wing role that Aish normally plays, because then Aish goes in the middle to replace O'Meara. I just don't think that's Henry's go.
What is Henry's go?
I think... I don't know. We don't know. I think he's still...
Is it year 4?
Delivering... Yeah, it would be. Delivering into the forward line with his unique set of skills. I know you can pull that face, but he hasn't had a chance to demonstrate it. What do you do? Like, if you keep sticking him in that defensive wing role, he's done.
If you're not
he's not going to be good enough there.
If you're not knocking the door over to play the spot you want to play...
He's been in decent form.
Yeah, in the twos, but he hasn't done it at AFL level.
But then you bring him into AFL level
but you don't put
him
your
in a
hand
different
up
role.
and say, oh, here you go, mate, play midfield now. Like playing the centre bounces. You know that right?
You know, though, those are two roles that are very difficult to play.
Oh, I don't know what he is. I thought with Sonny starting on the sub role that maybe...
But he's not a good small forward. They tried him there at the start.
But I don't think he's a wing.
But they tried him there at the start. Why not try him again?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Like, it's been ages. Just put him in there now.
I thought that was probably a clear one. Sonny sub, which was interesting. If there was an injury, if Ace got cleaned up first quarter, then what happened?
Well, it was similar to Fife. They had to roll the dice and go, right.
But why? Is he fit or not fit?
He's fit, but I think in a perfect world he's not playing a whole game, and it worked out for them okay.
Well, it didn't, because he was the spark that got him. He was the best forward.
But had he played the whole game, he might have been cooked by halftime. I just didn't like... I thought Henry got burned so many times on that wing, and that's not really his fault. I mean, that's not what he is. So it didn't work. The selection didn't work.
He double grabs a little bit. I hope he
had some moments. He had a couple of moments.
With the wet ball, and it's just that split second of waffle to AFL.
Yeah.
He still ended up with the ball in his hand.
Yeah.
But it was the bobble. It was the slide
and then
bobble and then catch it, and then bang, you've lost that time.
One thing I reckon, just quickly on Henry, he's out of contract. Would you keep him if you're Fremantle?
I'd probably discuss opportunities both ways.
Yeah, okay.
In terms of, mate, I think you've got the talent, but maybe a fresh start
might
work for both of us.
Yeah, okay.
Are you going to extend it, you want? Do you want to extend?
No, we've got the footy. I'm not
okay.
Nick's a lot. Nick, you know the footy's on today, yeah?
Yeah, 120, mate. You've got time. Gold Coast.
Gold Coast Suns. So there's obviously the murmurings around. I think
he was going to bullet these guys too. What's he going to pull out here?
Well, what is Stewie Jew talking about Henry getting a deal?
Yeah.
What has Stewie Jew got to do? There was obviously those strong words, and we're not over in the over east bubble where
the Hardwick stuff,
the radio stations and stuff are saying, it's likely that this could happen. What's Stewie Jew got to do to go to bed and think, I don't care what Damien Hardwick's doing on Katiki?
He has to keep winning.
But finish 8th, finish 10th, finish 6th?
Didn't he message Hardwick? Say, thanks a lot, mate. Just got Clarko off my tail.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
So Dimmer was at Hawthorn when Stewie was there.
Yeah, and they played together in Port at that flag.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so they know each other.
I would say to guarantee his employment, he has to make finals.
Guarantee, okay. But is that enough?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, their first finals in club history.
Yeah.
It would demonstrate growth. They haven't had a clean run with injuries this year. They've had a bunch of guys missing.
I like watching the Gold Coast now. I think they're almost creeping into my top few sides to watch.
Yeah, I've liked them for a while.
The Humper.
The question is if they finish, they're 11th now with a game in hand. If they finish in that 11, 12, 13, 14 space, which is probably the most likely scenario, I don't know. I like Stewie Jew. But is it working?
If they finish 9-10, you got a case.
But in fairness
you got a case.
It's hard to judge him.
Yeah.
You lose your captain, you lose your star forward, then you lose your Brownlow prospect.
Yeah.
All in a row.
Yeah.
Witts, King,
Took.
He hasn't had it easy.
No, he hasn't.
In a small market. Anyway, last but not least, Matt Rowell.
Can't get to the ground.
At the halfway mark, I put Matt Rowell in my All-Australian side.
Really?
On the bench.
Wow.
On the bench, Matt Rowell went in. Am I mad or not?
Sarong in there?
No, I like it.
No, he was in the unluckies.
You had Rowell over Sarong.
Yep.
Geez, he really does hate Freo.
Mate, I love Caleb Sarong.
Sarong's going to win the FBNF by
he's now the Darcy's
I was going to drop an F-bomb by a mile. Like, he's been that good.
So's Matt Rowell.
Mate, he had a patch.
Who's number one in the competition for clearance?
And then a good patch of form.
Who's the number one in the
and tackles
for clearance?
Great.
Who's the number one for contested ball?
Nice.
Who's the number one for tackles?
Okay.
Who's the number one for pressure acts?
Yeah, we'll probably all Matt Rowell. I'd still have Caleb Sarong over you.
I'm going to punch your lights out.
Would you have Sarong or Rao?
No, I'd have Rao.
What?
No, but I wouldn't have.
No more.
I would have both of them.
No more.
I'd have both of them in there.
So the one that I copped a little bit around, I left Bont out. Oh, no, maybe I put Bont in.
Who'd you leave out?
Sarong.
So Sarong was the unlucky. So
that's the wrong call, mate.
You this is why you're not in the chair at Channel 7.
You did one.
Did I? On when?
Oh, he's not shy, but he's shy.
Oh, yeah. That
what
one.
have I told you?
I did see that one. I saw that.
Well, he turned me down.
What have I told you?
No.
Yeah, Shay was... After the game, you can interview whoever you want. But I've gone up to Shay because he's clearly best on, in my opinion.
No, he had to be interviewed.
And he's going, nah, mate, I'm good.
So,
and I said, mate, 2 minutes. And he goes, no, get someone else. By that point, he's walked off. So I was like, great. I just saw the big Nank and thought, geez, Nank, he played well.
He did play.
Yeah, see the 7 on the microphone? That's your wages.
Correct.
So what does 7 say to that?
I don't want to get it. I don't want to get
now
Shay.
He's going to be
Shay in trouble, but he was shy that night.
Yeah, but like... Do players know that they've got to do it? Or?
Yes, they know, and they have to do it.
So Dusty's got away with it forever.
Dusty has somehow got away with it.
I love it. And so's Bud.
Yeah, and I think Shay's...
There's an echelon of players.
Shay is trying to push himself into that echelon of, I don't want to talk.
In comes the poor little boundary.
Well, this is Richard. Are we in the Richmond one yet?
No, we are now.
Yeah. Well, let's just... Yeah, we're in it. Yeah, we're a minute 20 into it.
Yeah.
This is great. Perfect timing. Did I have Richmond? I did. I'd rather talk about the Bolton thing a little bit longer than talk about Marlon. But he's been in court this morning.
Yes.
Now, it turns out that the burglaries that he's accused and charged of being a part of, there's $380,000 involved. One of them was a $325,000 cash grab from a cash exchange place in Girraween.
Cold hard.
Yeah, cold hard. Now, the cops are alleging that he brought equipment, clothing, and then a van. And then drove the van across...
Well, no, he didn't drive the van. The van was used
driven
to drive the cash across borders, allegedly.
From where? Did it all from Melbourne?
Well, no,
what's the story?
Well, it's all alleged at this point. We've got to be really careful. Let's extend. We have to extend.
Overtime.
So I haven't heard one thing. So apart from this morning at 7 o'clock when I spoke to you, he was still...
Well, that's a lot of money. My point is, that's a lot of money. This isn't still a loaf of bread stuff. This is...
Geez, you'd be disappointed if you robbed my joint.
I reckon they would have cased it first.
We got 3 gold coins and 2 silvers.
And a carton of single fin. Half drunk.
Oh, geez, I'd be pissed off for that. No, so go again. So
my question is... Now, he's been bailed. He's got bailed this morning.
So he's out.
What are you guys doing? Oh, you're all
Mick Fanning's got silver surfer gear on.
He's out of contract. Now, he's on bail. If you're Richmond...
Is he allowed to go back to Richmond?
Oh, that's still being worked out, I think. Whether he can leave the state, special permission.
That would have to be on his bail conditions.
That would have to be on the bail conditions. So there's a bit to play out there. But his career, if you're Richmond, can you re-sign him if the process is still ongoing?
No, I think it's...
But if he hasn't been found guilty yet? So let's say the court case is in a year. Who knows how long these things can take? It's tough, right?
No, I think actually it's innocent until proven guilty.
So you can give him a year.
You extend, but with there'd be a clause in there to say if A, B, and C was to happen, then this is
it's so
no
sad.
longer valid.
It's so sad for everybody.
So back to what? So did the stuff come from allegedly from Victoria?
No. The robberies, the burglaries were done here.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where they ended up. I know you just said that
the money went across the border in a camper van of some kind. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's got to be South Australia and Northern Territory.
Yeah. Well, there's a border.
There's a border with us.
Well, they could have kept going.
At least they could have kept going across multiple borders.
Right. Gotcha.
It's Ocean's 11 shit.
It's a big cat.
That's a haul.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's of course innocent until proven guilty, and he is going to defend those charges.
Yes. So Sydney. It was pretty grim, but the one thing I did want to highlight was
super grim.
Angus Sheldrick.
Oh, yeah.
I've been saying this for ages, and they've been picking him in a forward pocket when he can't touch it. Put him in the middle.
I feel like Nick's going to put him as his boy.
He's coming. Oh, I hadn't thought about that, but that's very close. It's 19 disposals, 7 clearances, 6 tackles. Just looked like he'd been playing footy for a very, very long time at the level.
Pity Sydney don't look like they've been playing footy for long.
So is he one that you try if you're... I mean, he's right... depending whether he wants to do it or not, because you're probably going to have a better time at Sydney. Yeah. That's right in the zone of West Coast people they should be targeting, right? Like 21-year-old mids. But it's whether you take it.
If I'm old Sheldrick, I am...
10-foot pole.
I'm staying in Bondi or whatever, and I'm working my way. If you make it in Sydney, you'll be a good footballer. a bit of fool's gold over here at the moment with a lot of games that have been put into some people.
Looks a tough little bugger, isn't he?
Yeah, no, it looks like he's Sydney.
He reminds you of Errol. He's like a stockier Errol.
So why was Errol playing forward on the weekend?
Don't understand.
This is one thing that did my head in.
Is that because Angus came in?
No, but
Angus replaced Parker.
Centre bouncers were the Papa and Heaney.
Yeah.
Heaney's had over 20 disposals once this year.
But also
kicked 49 goals last year. You're substituting out 49 goals for less than 20 disposals. And little Goulden, who gets 30 on a bit, running around thinking he's a forward pocket.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
Yeah, this is the new sending the superstar to full forward.
Yeah.
He's thinking your forward's a midfielder.
But I want Errol delivering the ball inside 52 because he's probably the best at it in the comp, is he not? Like, if you're a leading forward... fair enough. But Errol does it over longer distances too.
I agree.
It'll give you a 60-metre lace out. Like, I was the exact same thing watching
life out of it.
It's like, why is Errol playing this weird
Again,
role?
I feel sorry for anyone who have had a couple of dollars on because I watch it like...
Yeah. I reckon Dave had a rough weekend on the punt because I know he was on Carlton.
Did you catch who won race 3 in...
he turned it around.
Might have been my horse.
Our
horse, cousins, everything.
Jeez, must be nice.
Hopefully Mum doesn't hear that.
Must be nice.
GWS.
Just quickly, Toby Green again just highlighted the fact that he's by far the top player at that football club and probably top 5 in the competition.
He is, isn't he?
He's just so good, mate. He takes the piss.
He's so fun to watch. But I still like watching the Giants.
Yeah.
That's an unpopular opinion these days, but I do like him.
Tom Green just had a slow
He's very quiet.
Yeah. And then
tagged by your mate?
Wasn't a tag, and that's the thing that gets me every time.
Defensive mid.
Well, you had a stoppage to get me end up, and you choose someone. So when you're tagged, Liam Shields still had 30 himself.
So in your world, to be a tag, you have to be inside them.
Has to be Ryan Crowley.
Pretty much. Right. Yeah, that's a tag.
Yeah.
I mean, being accountable at stoppages is just being accountable. Right. It's just, for example...
But was it not Liam? Liam didn't care about the ball. He wanted to just stop Tom getting it.
Liam had 30 touches.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's giving him a bath?
So that's why when people are like, oh, you got tagged, they're like, pig's ass.
I might have to drop.
So he got 300 games, Liam Shields,
What did Liam Shields have? Sorry.
He's one of the
most... Shields had 29 disposals.
Jeez.
He's got to be one of the most unassuming players in the history of the league. Like,
what's he done?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
he's got that many flags. No one,
he's 32.
He will be.
You didn't even know he was playing in North Melbourne this year.
Did not know. I rang him. And we spoke about what he's up to with his spare time, and he still didn't say anything. Then I was doing my AFL fantasy, and Liam Shields in a kangaroo's jumper popped up.
You're like, who's this L Shields?
When did that happen?
Same name as
in fairness
Liam.
to me, I was overseas, maybe.
Sure.
Oh, must be nice.
Yeah, it's just la-di-da.
I kind of been overseas. I haven't been for a while. I don't know where I was.
Maybe he was watching his horse race at Ascot.
You're on Rottnest with no reception.
Yeah, that's
right.
Overseas.
And before we
on
do
the
get,
roof.
Overseas at Rottnest.
Before we do get buzzed out, I think I was at Rottnest.
He would have been.
Briggs, 8 clears and 16 disposals. They found their ruckman. So there you go.
Tell you what.
Blow the siren. I can't go any longer on that team.
I love me some Briggsy.
Carlton.
That's me. Now, I was going to do this for Essendon, but I'm very glad that I've shifted it to Carlton. What the hell were they thinking? Whose idea was it to trot out the Premiership Cups and stick them in the middle of the ground?
Yeah.
The way, for start, I know Essendon are going to
Not the right time.
We gave Essendon some props before, but it has been how many days now? A million since they won a final?
Yeah.
Carlton are a basket case.
Patrick Cripps hasn't even played in a final.
It's unbelievable that someone thought, you know what we should do? Just talk about all our past success. Some of those premierships are from before we had television.
Some of them, before the turn of the century.
We were on horses and
the
carts.
Last one.
So what 2 teams would you sit there and go, okay, that's cool?
Look, I don't mind it if you're going okay.
Geelong
and you
Hawthorn,
start,
maybe?
I have a question about relevancy as well, like in the modern AFL, like 1991.
Correct.
1990, sorry.
To me, 87 onwards is the right era.
When it started.
Well, that's when two interstate teams come in.
Yeah,
plus
before
Sydney's
it was a
there.
state league competition.
Yeah. So, and I'm fine with saying history matters. I'm not saying the flags don't matter. But read the freaking room, man.
Yeah.
Don't put your cups out when you haven't won anything in forever.
It did look a bit painful.
Yeah.
And
I
you know what
can
it's
just
like?
imagine
It's
the
like,
Carlton supporters who we love. I love them so much because they go off their heads.
But imagine, it'd be like Xav just throwing on the outfit he wore when he went out when he was 18 that worked for him back then.
Yeah.
And trying to think that it's his glory
Don't
days.
oversell it, not
it's
much work.
It's not your glory days, mate.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think it is head down, ass up.
So is that going to be a thing now every time they have this game?
Oh, God,
I wouldn't
is
have
it
thought.
I reckon.
I wouldn't have thought.
Jeez, did you see the post this morning from Carlton's social media saying the team store's closed.
So I just emailed the team. I literally just emailed the team store about something in Carlton team store.
Are you serious?
Yeah, 100%. And then that popped up, and I thought it might have triggered my algorithm, but it was just everyone was piling in on the team store.
If you've got time today, go to Twitter, look at Carlton's post about shutting the team store for the day because of the public holiday, and the comments. Unbelievable.
Wasn't there a big...
Just hilarious.
Wasn't there a brick or something thrown through the window?
Well, I think that's a fake. An old one? I think it's an old or a fake or something.
That was last year, I think.
Yeah.
Or even the year before.
No, I don't think
they all blend into one. Hawthorn. Okay, can you talk about the Sicily tackle?
Oh, yeah, he's dying. Aaron Finch just went down, and he actually, watch his face. Big Fitchy.
Before he goes in,
he faces 150 Ks in the middle of a cricket pitch, and watch him come out. He almost looks like he's a borderline dead.
You know,
watch his face.
Where is he?
Ready? Watch him. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, Fitchy, mate, it's just a bit of cold water.
Do you know? And I don't. There's every chance they do it now. I don't know anything, but you know what the greatest person to go down the slide will be now?
What?
Jason Horne-Francis into the ice bath.
Oh, yeah.
How good would that be?
Would be good.
And or Kane Corns dressed as Jason Horne-Francis.
That could be good, yeah.
Wouldn't it be amazing?
The only thing is, I think just adding fuel to that fire.
Can I get in on that now, though? When it happens,
we called it?
I'm going to claim it.
You read it like a book.
I'm going to claim it.
I'll pay it.
So, Sicily tackle, what are your thoughts?
Well, to me, it's hard because I tried to watch it taking Brockman out of it, which is kind of stupid because I thought if Brockman wasn't there, would the same result have occurred? And I think there would have been... It probably would have been a sling tackle.
Yeah.
But then Brockman coming in impacts the injury because that's where he hits him. So I feel like Sicily should get off because we never saw the end of... We're just talking hypotheticals. It's a hypothetical sling tackle penalty.
Yeah.
And I'm not copping the whole, he pushed him in the back when he got up. He had no idea he was out cold.
No,
it's a bad
that's
look.
different. That's different.
Yeah.
That's Sicily being Sicily. But to me, you can't penalise it because it didn't actually eventuate to the way you thought it would.
Have I got a leg to stand on here? Coleman pushes him.
This is Ashley Sampi getting his jumper held in
the
2005 Grand Final vibes from
Zapruder film.
So Coleman, Sicily. Bang.
Great tackle back on the Cluggage after he lost.
You're clutching at straws.
Why are you trying to get him off? You're representing him.
He's going to be
Coleman
at the tribunal
on the grassy knoll.
Xavier Ellis.
You don't reckon he's getting pushed in the back there to Lord?
A little bit, but it doesn't push him over. He grabs the waist.
And now he's trying to get your headphones aren't going to reach you.
Oh my goodness!
Ready? Here he comes. That's a solid push in the back.
Yeah, but that's not enough. He still completes the tackle.
It's not enough.
You know what they may have to do? I feel like
you blokes trying to rail my team.
If it wasn't for Sicily,
I feel like
it was
it's
anybody
leading
else,
towards
you wouldn't have brought that up.
The AFL, like a similar sort of hip drop thing. You got to keep your legs in the tackle because it seems like every time they swing down, it moves. What have you done? You've ruined everything.
No, he's got a bottle of water pouring directly onto an electrical cord.
Oh, that's life, mate. Chill out.
North Melbourne.
Oh, geez, we've used the bullet.
Skip.
No, you can't.
We can't
give
skip.
Something.
Okay, I'll give you something. I wrote Skip down.
What about... we had Skip on Gold Coast as well.
No, all right. Well, let's go through.
What about Tarrant Thomas? Played very well yesterday. How do you feel about it?
Still bad.
Okay. No, sorry. Okay.
I kind of feel gross watching it. I'm not quite sure how to deal with it yet.
No, I'm not sure either.
He's ticked all the boxes yet, has he?
Because I think the thing is we really liked him before, right?
Yeah, we were
too much.
We were on the Tarrant train for a long time.
Yeah, we'd say that he could be a top 5 player in the AFL.
Yeah, we were off our heads.
We thought he could be North's best player going forward. And
Still think he can probably be.
Could be, yeah. LDU's kind of
I've got a track watcher there who reckons he's good as anyone they've seen in the competition. But he hasn't got it in him to do it every time. He's as bad as anyone in the competition.
Yeah, he was very good on the weekend.
That high and low emotion.
Yeah.
Of 1 minute you go, that is the best thing I've ever seen on a training track.
And the next
one, like walking in the background. And you're like,
I brought this up a few weeks ago, but can we bring up Ben Cunnington again? He's not getting a game.
Didn't play in the twos either. I looked at that.
So yeah, he did play in the twos 2 weeks ago. He must be sore.
Yeah,
are we seeing the end here? No,
of course we are.
This will be his last year. You'd
think
thought.
So?
Yeah, and he's done amazingly well to get back at all.
When does the retirement season start? When players start on press conferences?
I reckon it's about 4 weeks away.
Yeah, okay.
I honestly looked at it, and I don't want it. would we say that it's Ed Curnow's last year?
Yeah.
How old is he now? 31?
He's ageless.
Yeah.
You could tell me Ed's 26. You could tell me he's 36.
Yeah.
Well, I looked at last night tagging, and when the tag didn't continue when Merritt went forward was an outrageous decision. Merritt went goal, assist, game over. Like, if he's in the team to tag, he's in the team to tag. I thought about it last night. He's 33, turning 34.
Oh, really? That is...
34
I would have believed
November.
28.
So 34, 35 next year. I looked at it last night.
Is he just paying the price for some of those other guys?
Because someone's going to
No. I'm not blaming him at all.
Right.
But unfortunately for him, decisions will be made at Carlton now.
Yeah.
And what are they going to do? Send Sam Walsh to the 2? Send Paddy Cripps to the 2?
Correct.
There's always the easy ones that are going to get wound
the
up.
Scapegoats.
And Ed Curnow's the scapegoat who's probably going to get wound up.
Yep, no, you're right.
West Coast.
Jesus. We should have saved the bullet for this.
What was the quote going around today? Not an AFL
bullet,
team.
Melbourne.
Well, Melbourne, because
there's
they haven't
enough
played
to talk
yet.
about there, mate. I don't believe you. Go on, talk. No, give us 2 minutes, please.
What was the thing this morning? Not an AFL team?
Oh, yeah.
Who said that, though?
Dermot.
Yeah, but he did go on to say...
There was context around it, like these players are not AFL players.
Yeah, correct. And he's right. Like, a lot of them are.
Which is true.
Yes. Some of
Ryan
them might
Marriage
be.
was drafted 2 minutes ago.
Marrick.
Well, technically Marriage, but in Australia, he's just got used to everyone saying Marrick.
Well, he likes Marrick.
We're just used to it. Yeah,
he wants it to be Marrick. The thing I was thinking about the other day with West Coast, and rightfully so, the last 2 years it's been injury. So there's been a lot of excuses, and they're all real, right? They don't have the feel. Their backline the other day was led by Rhett Bazzo. Yeah. Led by. He's played 8 games or whatever.
The Texan took a contested mark on within a minute. I was like, shivers.
It was a bloodbath. And Oscar Allen's playing. I completely am on board with all of the excuses. When you go back a bit further, though, and you go to the years 19 and 20, they were sliding already. Right, they were coming out of that era.
They should have finished top 4, 19.
Yeah, but then the wheels fell off, and 2020 the wheels never got on.
No.
And here's my thinking. I feel like they weren't prepared for any version of this. This is the worst case scenario, but I feel like they were not playing the middle part of their lists.
No.
They were all the lower end. They were not drafting anyone well.
No.
A lot of their late draft picks were poor. I feel like it's like...
But the second round is the... If you get that wrong, you're in a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
If you don't have first rounders.
I feel like it's like you're going, right, me and you, Nick, we're going to drive to Melbourne next week. And then we get halfway across and I go, I should let you know we don't have a spare tyre.
Yeah.
And then we blow 4 tyres.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we're screwed. And you're like, yeah, but even if we did one, we were screwed.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's
we could have
West
made
Coast.
it in record time without that tyre.
This is unbelievable. 4 tyres is horrible. But I feel like even if they had done one tyre, they'd still be screwed.
The bit I find funny at the moment is the argument North Melbourne. Oh, well done, North Melbourne, splitting your pick. Sheasel, Wardlaw.
Jeez,
bloody hell, that's a good idea. And then you go, well, West Coast split the pick, and I'm not convinced on Jimmy, and I'm not convinced on Hewitt yet. Just because of the situation they find themselves in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like...
It's tough.
It's the exact same here.
Yeah.
But the kids can't get a go at it.
I wish we'd thought of Wardlaw. Next week we're giving Wardlaw some love.
We gave it to him last week.
Oh, good, because he's going to be a star, that kid.
All right, now we move on to the Our Boys.
Our Boys.
You're my boy! I actually did the post last week, so I can tell you who you had, but if you want to just roll into it.
Oh, okay. So me first?
Yeah, go for it.
I don't even remember who I had.
You had... Oh, you weren't here.
Butters and then Green.
Oh, you've been away for a while.
No, I'm going to keep Zach.
Who you got?
Zach Butters stays in the top of the tree.
Yep.
He's unbelievable right now. But I want to swerve, and I wish that we'd had more time to talk about him. Kieran Briggs. He's in the wings. I love this bloke, and I love the story. Third stringer. Yeah. Bruce gets injured. Flynn doesn't fly that well.
So Flynn played the twos on the weekend, had 12 disposals and 31 hit outs.
Briggsy's the man. Yeah. He's going to be the man going forward because Bruce can't get out there. He's the guy. I'm all in.
Yep.
Briggs. You had Connor Nash and Mitch Lewis as a backup.
So I'm just going to slide Connor Nash with love.
All right.
Out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to lift up my man Mitchy Lewis. 59 goals in 22 games.
Okay.
How many, Nick?
What?
How many goals in 22 games?
Mitch Lewis?
Yeah. 59.
Oh, that's a lot.
It's a shitload. We love him. And James Siciley's in.
I
stand by Sis.
We need to make a rule here. He can't always just have Hawthorn players.
You can do what I want.
Wait, so he's out. So you saying? I thought you were sliding him up. So James Siciley's the number one man now.
No. So Mitch Lewis is the god.
Yeah.
And his queen is James Siciley.
You know what I've noticed, Nick? the better that Hawthorn get, the more annoying
he's up and about,
he's going to be unbearable in 2 years' time if they're good again. It's going to be unbearable.
What do you mean, when Mitch Lewis is 25? Oh, gee whiz, I wonder how good he'll be then.
So I had Oisin.
I love being arrogant too.
I had Oisin with Luke Coaches as a backup. I'm going to do it. I'm going to slide my man Sheldrick into the big spot.
Yeah, give
to the big spot.
Yeah,
into the big spot. Go straight to the top
spot.
Straight to the top. And then the bloke who was out because he had a bye comes straight back in. A miss, 4 goals.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like old Nev.
No, that's good. He looks great.
That's us done for the week. So that's been the Our Man, and this has been the Hardball Gets AFL show.
Quickly. Anyone who's interested, next Thursday night, WA Footy Guild, we're putting on a night where it's sort of a meet the media thing. Zabe's going to be there.
Am I?
Yeah, you committed to it. You're on the poster. I'm on there as well. Benny Cousins will be there. Jacob Waddell from the West, sports editor. Go in. You can ask whatever you want. Benny will be there. Ben Cousins. Ask whatever you want. Scully will be there. Papalia. We'll have a beer with us. We'll have a chat. We'll have a few laughs.
Do I have to pay for a ticket for it?
Yeah, $40. It's cheap as. It's $40 Claremont Footy Club next Thursday night.
What
Jump
time?
on it.
Thursday night.
I think it's like 6:30, 7 o'clock.
Right.
Eventbrite.
They serving single fin or not?
Yeah, of course.
Don't know if they do there.
We'll get it.
We might have to do some research, I think.
We'll get it. Just let me tell you exactly
Little Things Gin,
where.
that's
Hold on a minute. Where to go to get a ticket? Hold on.
Eventbrite.
Just go to Rhino Socials.
Go to my Twitter and you'll find the link.
All right. It's been a Hardball Gets AFL show. Proudly brought to you by the Mazda BT50. You do you. We'll see you next time.